So in this tutorial, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the way Multiview manages your media, in particular the workflow that you would follow to import video. Now, the key thing about Multiview is that it has a built-in organizer, and the way we approach this is quite different from what you might consider traditional means to organize your media. And in fact, it's a much more efficient, better way to do it because you're not going to be repeating pretty much the same steps over and over again. So we're going to compare this a little bit with start what you would normally do if you were going to create your own project and create your own folders and bring in your clips. I'll give you two examples here. One, we might have a bike ride on the particular date. So typically what you do is you use the year, month, day sort of as a top level folder, and then you could put a little description about what that happened at that time. And so in these two cases, we have a bike ride, and then we have another project, a trip to Europe. So let's go drill down a little bit here. So I have to first of all, make the top folder. And then I have to indicate where we're going to be in the bike ride. So we're going to be in the Leesville Hills, and we're going to be in Chaparosa. So let's drill down a little bit in the Chaparosa Park one. Then within that, we have to make folders for each day that we're going to be there. And then also we're going to probably have to make a folder for anything when we want to create an edited video or program from this. So an export folder. And then any metadata that you might have, meaning information related to the timing, actual time, and so forth. And then arbitrarily any notes that you want to include. And then if you drill down to we have to make a folder for each day here, day Monday, and then for every camera that we were used for that day, we also would create a folder. So there'd be maybe two riders, Bob and Phil, and we might have two cameras on each. So on Bob, we'd have the clips for Bob on the first day, and then maybe on the first ride, and then on the second camera for that ride, we might have another couple clips. So this is the process, creating all these folders. And if I have to do another day or another bike ride or another location, I have to go ahead and build my folders up that way. And it's pretty tedious, of course, because even though the projects are similar to the bike rides, I have to still go through and make all these folders. And then normally when you do this too, you normally, if there are any proxies that are made, you usually don't want to spend the time dragging those in, because you got to search for those and then put those into their own proxy folder as well. So that, or keep them with the original clip. But either way, you've got double the work to do that as well. Bottom line is that it's a lot of work to do this manually for each project, each time. And then for every new project, even if it's similar, like the trip to, if you're doing another trip, a trip to Japan or another bike ride or a trip to Alaska, you really kind of start from scratch. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at the way Multiview allows you to organize. What we do is the workflow is quite different in the sense that we start with a application profile. So we first of all go into our profile screen, and then we look for a profile that might be very similar to what we're doing. Future Video Multiview comes with several predefined profiles. You can make changes to the labels to be whatever you want. But in this particular case, let's choose this one, the bike event. And the first label would be the primary category, which would be the location. And then the second label would be the day of that particular event. and that would be a subcategory to the location, and then what camera is being shot. So I can change these around, but this is the way I want to structure it for my bike ride, and all my bike rides, as a matter of fact, if I want to do that. Or I can create a different template if I wanted to use a different template for that. Here's another one, and this does it by location, but then it does it by loop rather than the day. So I can follow that template as well. But for our example here, I'm just going to go ahead and use what I have as a predefined. And so this is the template or profile, application profile. And so now we're going to, I'll show you what we've done is we've imported several clips for the Chaparosa Park trail, and this would show in the playlist here as for each camera and all that. So let me give you a real example. If I'm going to do a bike ride from Aliso Hills, what I would do is I would go to my import screen, and I'm going to say Aliso. Let me put in Aliso Hills. Change it. It's the same area, but I'm just going to put in Aliso Hills to make it consistent. This would be the Monday ride, and then this is going to be the camera one from that's on my bike. So I'm going to say OK. And now I'm going to find those clips. I would put in my SD card for that particular day, and then import that for the clips for me. But I happen to have it on a media server here, so I'm going to just go ahead and find it there. And here it is, the Aliso Hills. Okay, and now I see the clips. You can see actually several of these are multi-chapter through the, even that one, 2, 3, 4. But I'm going to actually bring in, for purposes of keeping this small, I'm just going to bring in the last clip here, and then it's going to import that. And one of the things to notice is that while it's importing, it's also bringing in the metadata. And this is really important. It knows the time, date of that particular clip. And in the case of GoPro, you're using time code, it's going to use that. It also brings in the proxy, because the proxy makes it easy and fast to preview and to play back. We don't have to waste time doing that. And so that was a clip, and now it's going to bring in this proxy, hopefully. There's the proxy, and told me. So now it's going to show me in my list here the Aliso Hills location, and the date and time it started. So as you see here, every time I want to bring in another set of clips related, it's going to ask me the location. Remember, these are part of the template names that we put in, and the structure. So we wanted to say location, day of the week, and then maybe this one would be date, the second camera that's mounted on Bob's bike. Okay, now that we saw that everything's in here, we did not have to create any folders whatsoever. So let's see what Multiview did. So this is our project. It's in our video folder. It was the bike ride, the new bike ride. And you can see here that there's the Chaparosa folder. You can see, and here's the Aliso Hills folder. So if we drill down a little bit, let's start with the Chaparosa. That was the first one we did. And there you can see that there's a folder for the day, and then it also created, put a folder in for the proxies, and put in this proxy. And then in the metadata folder, we have the information about the time, date, stamp, and then any information in the log that we may have actually typed in about this. So all the notes are nicely connected and put in the right folder. everything, all these folders were created, and we didn't have to repeat the same process. We just provided the information it requested, and it automatically created all these folders and organized it for us.